Hello and welcome, everybody, to today's episode of Angelic Footprints. I have another special guest with me, and his name is Benjamin Shure. And I have a little bit of a background for you about him because Benjamin tells me that he has autism and that his life changed dramatically when he learned how to manage the energy bodies and bring in certain energetic protection to allow himself to help countless people here on earth. And he does use the higher connections, the higher angelic realms as well. And his mission is to elevate consciousness and help people to reconnect with their innate gifts. Benjamin, that sounds absolutely so inspiring, so amazing. I'd love you to tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Thanks, Dagmar, for having me. And yeah, so in this incarnation, I was born in England. I chose to have autism and also to have a single parent family, um, a young parent as well. So I could experience different kind of challenges growing up in the human realm, um, which allows me to remember and other times other lifetimes where I experienced these and then to clear them. So now in this incarnation, I can help others with the same or similar type of experiences. So I chose to have autism so that I can have a particular connection to source point, God, source creator, the angelic realm, and so on. Um, which helps a lot because I can bring in lots of information, if you like, um, different energies, different energy templates, and also create new blueprints and things like this to assist others. And also with this connection, I'm able to connect directly to the oversoul of each being, their souls. And then when I'm working with others, what is happening in a group or an individual, the energy that you're getting is not my own, it's your own. It comes from your own source, your own soul. We all have a designated angel uh, or dragon being as well at the point of incarnation here on Earth, but also as a soul. So we get the energies directly from source point. And as a human, I like to travel. I do lots of land clearing when I travel. I help Mother Earth a lot, Pachamama Gaia, just updating the ley lines and releasing lost souls, lost spirits. In fact, when I first started doing this, I was working heavily with the angelic realm to assist in this process. So I like all these kind of things. I prefer communicating with the non-physical beings rather than physical beings. This is like the human autism, I guess. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Benjamin. And I'm particularly drawn to how you talked about you chose to incarnate in this lifetime. And it's one of my beliefs as well that we choose the kind of situations that we are going to find ourselves in this lifetime. Obviously, we choose before we incarnate in this body. And it's really nice to have someone else who has a similar philosophy. And I love how you are helping Mother Earth as well. Benjamin, you've told me a little bit about some of your angelic experiences. Would you like to share those with our viewers and listeners, please?
Oh yes. Okay. So I've had a few experiences with the angelic realm. Um, the most notable being when I was in amidst one of my latest phases of the awakening a few years ago, going through the Kundalini phase after the dark night of the soul. I was actually hit by a van while cycling, and
Oh,
this van came from a portal. Basically, it wasn't really there at the time, and I would have my physical body been much worse off if I didn't have almost like an angelic being with me and also put me in a bubble. So it smashed me really hard, but the van had a dent, we could say, through the protection. So this was one of the archangels that came to assist me in this occasion. Before that, I was previously reattuned to angelic healings. I was working in the angelic realms before. And throughout my recovery, because my physical body was weakened, heavily weakened, I had like angelic Medicare, you could say. So they were with me. I could see a few of them throughout I had a month of, I wasn't in pain, but there was no movement in my left side. It was my left shoulder. So I couldn't lift anything, but they put literally an energetic bandage around the disconnection, the ligament damage. So I didn't feel pain, but I couldn't move it. Um,
Oh,
that was one time I had the angelics, uh, in a sense, physically with me because it wasn't me that left the dent in the van. So they came down. So these are the part of the archangels. So the archangels, they've had physical vessels before, so they can come down and manifest themselves, if you like, for a moment, for a moment, to help people, really.
mm. I firmly believe that, definitely, and I had my own experience being a pedestrian and being hit by a car. Interestingly enough, your situation, you had the van had a dent in it. With me, the car had no dent in it whatsoever, although it totally physically hit me. So it's interesting how we can have these different experiences, and yet we do know our angels are protecting us and they're helping us. I mean, I could have been seriously, seriously injured. And obviously, like you, having that bubble around me in some way to give me that protection. When you work with angels, and did I hear that right? You do work with angels as well?
Yeah.
So when you work with angels, do you know which angel that you're asking to come in, or do you ask for specific angels, or do you just allow and ask the angelic realm to step forward in whichever capacity is the most suitable?
The second one I allow, and because I have very high boundaries, so I
Hmm.
only allow those that emit and radiate their own 100% divine source, love, and light. So this would rule out a few of the angelic kingdoms because some of the angelic kingdoms have experience of being in a physical vessel and they still have some different layers of consciousness. So I normally work with the non-physicals, like the pure conscious ones, and they come down in a different form. This is when I'm doing energy practice or land work. For example, the ones that helped me on on Earth in the daily are mainly around the archangels or the other angels that are, as you probably aware, there are so many angels that we haven't named because there are more angels than there are species on Earth. So you could say it like that. So it's a huge thing. There's like what you're doing here with this a wonderful podcast. You're going to get many people coming and sharing their experiences, and not only from this
Yeah.
incarnation, because it's almost like we're at a point of rediscovery here on Earth, remembering what is here, what's available.
Yes, definitely. And this is why I believe in this podcast so much, because it's just about bringing this out to everybody and really bringing that higher vibration to a time when there's not so many good things happening, shall we say it that way. But Benjamin, thank you. And that's a great point too, bringing in the angels as that you feel that they're the ones that need to come in. Yes, you're absolutely right. There are so many. We know the common ones with all their names, and there are thousands upon thousands that don't have names and that also work in other dimensions, very much so. Benjamin, having angels in your life and working very much with the spiritual realm, how would you say that that has influenced your life?
Quite a lot, actually. Like I mentioned, I have autism and other neurodiverse labels, you could say. They helped me with having more confidence in the physical realm. For example, energetically, they've supported me a lot. So I'm quite, if other humans saw me, some humans wouldn't believe I have autism, for example, because I'm rather independent in moving around the the human realm, we could say. And this is because I have this connection to source, and there are designated angelic fields of consciousness that go with me to help me to feel comfortable. In fact, a few of my favorite incarnations have been in the angelic realms. I'm very familiar with that energy. So they just help me on my day to day as well. I don't have to call them in because they're here with me already and I recognize them. And the main area is probably confidence, which is good. If I didn't have the confidence that they help me with, I probably wouldn't be speaking to you today or sharing my gifts in other spaces. So,
Well, that's beautiful, Benjamin, and thank you. I really appreciate you for coming in and for sharing your gifts. Would you say that being neurodiverse has actually helped you with your connections with the spiritual realm? I know we touched on that a little bit earlier.
oh yeah, 100%. So in this incarnation, I don't know what it is like to be neurotypical. Um, but I know with neurodiverse, so that basically means that I'm not fully embodied in my physical vessel. So I'm still out a little bit and have more I'm more receptive to the quantum and cosmic connections there are. Because if you like, I don't have the human shell all around. Um that's a choice I'm slowly integrating the more I feel safe in the physical realm. And it's almost like having neurodiverse, I chose not to have certain belief systems, or I don't understand in social cues, or I see beings speaking about things that I think are total nonsense, like small talk. So when
Hmm.
I have this kind of discernment, it helps with entering the different fields of frequencies. Because I believe that when neurotypical people start on their journey to go through meditation or this kind of thing, it might take a little longer for neurotypical to quieten their mind and quieten their spirit so they can expand their consciousness. So in my case, I'm already quite quiet internally. I can expand freely, but then there's another energy which there's pros and cons. But yeah. So
Well, like anything, there's pros and cons. And I love that you're sharing your journey with us because there will be people in the audience who will have some neurodiverse aspects, and you sharing this can really assist them as well. So thank you. Thank you so much, Benjamin. In terms of what you're doing right now, would you like to share any particular a book or a workshop or something that you would like to promote that is going on with what you are doing?
okay, well, I'm doing quite a few things actually. In this moment, I'm actually channeling a book around autism. That's not released yet, but it will be released in the near future. I'm doing this with a friend. She's paired lots of questions, and I connect with my channel and just bring in the answers.
Good.
It's quite interesting because we want to share the truth around mental health, for example, because I see it from a soul perspective on how certain diagnoses are perhaps misunderstood because they're missing out the soul aspect of things. For example, um, we can have more than one soul signature within us because our souls can be fragmented, and then when we are fragmented, we pick up other fragments which has other identities. So there are beings here on Earth, if they're highly fragmented, but they have more than 30% of two or three different souls, then their identities are sharing the same vessel. So this is where split personality can come from. So
Yeah.
these type of things. So there's this book. I also did a book collaboration a few years ago. Brave Healer Oracle. I can't remember the name exactly. I shared a modality that I created, or what I didn't really create it. I chose to bring it in this incarnation, and I do events every week, really online. Group healing. I work with the angelic realm, the dragons. I work with all forms of consciousness because remember the energy healing that's coming through me is actually from all of the people that participate. And we're all
Yeah.
infinite beings. We've had incarnations in so many spaces. And I guess what makes it a bit different with me is that I only allow those that emit their own 100% divine source love and light to come in. So it's a very high boundary. There's a lot of energy that comes in, but it comes in a way that it's susceptible and easier for the human to integrate. Normally, it comes in light language, and I speak angelic tongues as well, angelic languages as well. So there are many different languages that I bring in, which help the overall integration. I will be running something around the 20th of May. It is an almost like a abundance challenge. I'll be working with. It's a 30-day program. There will be 3 live sessions, and it'll be working with some scalar technology that I have, the Infinity series, and also a few protocols where we'll remove certain belief systems around being worthy and swapping them for positive truths of that we are born worthy is our divine right to be and shine. Things like this, because there's been so many subliminals or brainwashing, if you like, here on Earth from an early age, the news and things like this. There's lots of energies coming in to try and manipulate others that are unaware. So this is basically undoing this and replacing these thought forms that has been introduced to others with truer forms. And all of this will be supported by the higher souls as well when we journey together.
Well, Benjamin, please do be sure to send me links, especially to that 30-day challenge, because there's bound to be people who are going to be interested in that. And I will make sure that I have your podcast released in plenty of time for people to be able to sign up to that. Thank you so much for sharing. Again, what you're doing sounds amazing on so many levels. Benjamin, how can people connect with you, please?
So I have Instagram and TikTok, which are their options, and also my website, benjaminzacharyshore.com. And then on there's my WhatsApp number as well. I'm also on Facebook. So I do use social media, although I prefer um, probably communication by messenger type platform, WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. I find the emails a little bit complicated, as you're aware. I didn't respond to some of yours, but yeah. So I like this website and social media.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure I have all of your details. I will pop them onto the podcast webpage for when the podcast is released so that people have an avenue of being able to connect with you. Benjamin, it's been such an honor to have you on the program. Thank you so much for sharing your information. Thank you so much for your stories about angels and how you are working with angels. Are there any last thoughts that you would like to share before we finish up?
Yeah, and just that we all can connect to the angelic realm with intention. And I'm just picking up there's an angel for everyone. So whatever intention, whatever support you feel you need, you can simply place your hand on your heart and just ask. Um, and then you'll receive a sign. So yeah.
Thank you, Benjamin. I firmly believe that as well. Thank you so much. For anyone who is interested, Benjamin and I will be doing a follow-up on in our sacred space. We are going to have a meditation for connecting with angels, so do join us for that as well. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this episode, then please share with 3 people who you believe might benefit from its content. And while you're at it, if you really would like to have more people who are going to benefit from this show, please also consider leaving a 5-star review on the platform where you are listening. Once again, Benjamin, thank you for being here. And for everyone who is our viewers and our listeners, thank you again for tuning in. In the meantime, blessings, and may your life be filled with hope and inspiration.